Okay, so got the welder set up now, just got to turn it on. As you can see, didn't video this because we weren't sure what we were doing. I'll finish welding this off. I've got a patch to cut out up here. I'll do the template, show you how I do that, and then we'll go from there. Just going to remove these bolts I put in to hold the panel in the right place to make sure that the hinges still came through the same holes as the panel behind it. So we'll get that off, and then I'm going to quickly clean up the welds, make them look a bit tidier. Don't want to take too much off though, because I'm going to start off with a grinding disc and then finish it off with a flat disc. I'm going to go over it with the flat disc now, just to smooth it off a little bit so there's no sharp edges. If you ever stick your hand up to get to the intake or anything like that, you don't want to catch it and cut it. So that's as much I'm going to take off them there. There's going to be seam sealer over this, and then there's going to be, well, it'll get primered, seam sealed, and then I'll under seal the inside of the wheel arch when it's all built back up. Okay guys, this is a carry on from yesterday's video. I'm just going to cut this plate out now and show you how I use the cardboard to do templating. Okay, as you can probably see from the video then, I couldn't get the angle grinder all the way in, so I managed to score it enough to bend it. So I've left some of the original shape here for the circle. I'll be able to match that in, and then I'll just make a piece that goes in there square and then trim out. Okay, I've got some cardboard. It's an old cereal box if anyone's interested. I'm going to just put it up behind it and use the line of the cardboard. I've actually got not a far off size piece, so I'm going to use the edge of the cardboard and the top of the cardboard as part of the template, so I don't have to cut it all the way around. And then I'm going to just trace down it like that, and across and down again, and then I'll just mark out my semicircle sort of area there, so we know I've got that, and then get back in line again. It ends there, so I just mark it like that. I can just push on the metal to find the edge too, so we've got the circle there. Okay, so we can just match it up freehand and cut that out with the sheet steel. So I'll just do that now. Okay, so I'm actually circled now, so I know I need to cut a piece out that size. So this is the piece I don't want. Yeah, that there. So this here is the shape that we want the steel, so we can cut that out. Makes it easier than trying to cut the circle out whilst we're in there. So I'll just cut this out now, and once I've cut that out, I'll trace it onto steel, cut that out. Okay, so I got a piece of scrap steel and my template. I'm just going to find somewhere it lines up nicely to save some steel. It's not expensive, but if you save your offcuts and use as little of your steel as you can, it makes your projects that little bit cheaper to do too. So I'll just draw around this, and then across there, down there, and then back down there. And we've got the shape on the steel. We've used the edge of the steel here as our flat edge for the template there. So this piece here we'll keep, and we may use it somewhere else along the projects or one of the other ones. I'll just cut it out. I'll cut a nice straight edge along there and lose this little bit here. So I'll do that now and then. Okay, so I'm back now after cutting that little plate out using my cardboard template, which is here. So cardboard template, metal plate into the hole, and fits pretty good. So I'm going to tack that in place now, and then we'll weld it all up. Okay, so I'm going to finish off welding this plate in now, and then that's the Fletch panel finished. I'm going to grind it back, and then I'll get you a close-up.
Just so you know, I taught him everything he knows.
Well, that's not something to be proud of, guys. That's terrible welding. I'd be ashamed of yourself.
I am.
Okay, so that's that cleaned up now. And that's that little project finished.
Fine, you.
Okay.
You should work hard like me.
That's it, all finished now. Clean back. I'm going to primer it, and then it's ready for the closing panel, and then I'll repair this once the closing panel's on. As you can see, there's a bit of rust along there. I'm going to clean all this back tonight, all along here, and then I've got a repair. I'll be doing a video on the front repair because this has all been filled by the previous person. We've got some pinholes all in here. It's not worth cutting it and trying to plate it. I'm just going to get a whole piece for there because it's all gone underneath as well. That's just the idea of why I'm changing it. It doesn't seem worth it with all the rust that's on there. But the rest of it is weirdly perfect all the way along. It's just from like this over, from here across is all just crap. So okay, so we're back to finish off this Fletch panel and scuttle pan repair with the closing panel. I've got the closing panel now, genuine one, and that goes in there like that. And then we've got this panel that I've made that goes on here, needs shaping as I tack it in as well. and then we'll finalise the shape when we get the closing panel on as well, and sort of blend it all together. I made that and got the shape using a cardboard template, right? Now, because I wasn't 100% sure what way it went because I was missing half it, I took the wing off the other side, and luckily enough this was in one piece. So I basically, just get this cardboard how I did it. I lay this in the channel like this and followed it round so that it matched up with the end one here, and lay it in. So that fold is impersonating or replicating the fold in the steel here, and then I put relief cuts in the steel to allow it to open up to which shape I need it, so I don't drop it. To let the shape, so when it's laid out, if you see the relief cuts have opened up a little bit, and then tapered it off to there. So you're probably wondering how I got it to fit the other side. Literally just flip it over, and on the other side it does that. So it replicates this shape from that way, flipped round that way for the other side. So that's how I got that shape, if anyone was wondering. I was quite lucky that the other side was intact, otherwise I'd have had to replace the end panel. I'd have had to replace the end panel for the thingy, so that just replicates that, and then I made it bigger so that I could trim it down to whatever length, depending on how good the steel was there, which I'm quite happy with. A bit of rust treatment, that'll be fine. So to get into there I had to cut into the inner wing, so I'm just going to weld that up, and then we'll weld this, tack weld this on, then we'll tack the bottom in, shape everything, and then weld it all up properly how it's going to be. So I'll set you down to watch and enjoy. Okay. So rude. We're trying to video an important video here, and he comes along and grinds in the background and makes noise. And you finished?
You can have it back.
Are you?
Alright. You can put it back in here.
So, if anyone's thinking of taking a mini project on, just remember, they're never as straightforward as you think. This was literally meant to be. Quickly take the subframes off, give them a quick clean paint, put them back on, and it's turned into pretty much a full restoration. It's just a pain in the bottom. So, but it's family, and we do stuff for family. Right, okay, so remember to weld up the little cut I put in by mistake. I'm just going to spray some weld-proof primer in there, and then before we actually weld the closing panel on, or tack it on to shape everything, I just need to de-sticker it because we don't want the sticker on there, and then clean up the surface for just where the tack's going to be, and drill a couple more holes in this face along here so that we can spot weld it along here and here. Yeah, so we'll do that. We're going to leave the paint underside there. Probably have to clean, I'm not even showing you, yeah, we'll clean off the inner edge as well so that you can weld a little bit. This is where I want to invest in one of them little, they're like a tight space belt sander sort of thing. I want to get myself one of them eventually, because that'd get in there nice and easy, and I struggle to get in there with the grinder. I might have to use a bit of sandpaper. So we'll get this prepped, and we'll primer that and primer this, and then we'll leave it to dry and then get back to you. Right, so I've cleaned all the bits I'm going to weld and painted them with weld-proof primer, or weld-through primer, not weld-proof. Matt's on the camera now, so we should get some better angles while I'm welding it. A bit hard to weld and hold the camera at the same time. So we'll get on with it and just record. Right, I need to mold grip these together. Molly grippies.
Ooh,
Jazz is modelling the new logo.
yeah, strut your stuff.
Yeah. Catwalk, baby. I'm not wearing mine.
That's just how Phil walks.
Right, let's get back to the welding hand.
I'm going to, instead of actually drilling holes for this, I'm going to use the slices I had to put in to make the metal stretch out. I'm going to weld in between, so it'll be like a spot weld but straight instead of a round.
Fair enough.
We start and then work from there,
Yes.
because that's the only way I can go, you know.
Yes. So did you buy that panel or did you make that
No,
panel?
I made that panel. I bought that one.
Yeah.
But I made that one.
Fair
There's
enough.
a piece of cardboard. Now, I'm just going to drill a couple of little holes here so I get some spot welds to hold that. That to the inside there. And there, and we'll pinch that together, weld it up, and then we'll start welding along here slowly without distorting all the panel. And then we'll clean it all back, make it look pretty, and then body for it when it goes to getting ready for paint. So, yeah, that's it pretty much. Right, we're all ground back. It looks pretty good if I do say so myself. Big headed.
Let's have a good look.
Like a mixture of diesel and petrol and kerosene.
Not a clue what that is, mate. Yeah, so we've got it all ground back. You can just see the weld there. It's going to be behind the wing anyway, so it'll get primed and then filled over and then probably primed again. Put the wing up and then we'll seam seal it. So I'm pretty happy with that repair, and we've got the closing panel in underneath as well. So I'm going to spray a bit of primer on that just to stop it from getting flash rust on it. And pretty much that's it for this side until I've got the wings. I've got to do the little welding spots along here, but it's pointless me videoing it for you guys to see. I ran out of gas there still and started to do it, so I've got to clean that back and then just fill in the gaps where I went through with the spot hole cutter. I did the other side with a grinder, and that was a much better. Cut the wing off from the lip and then just ground through until I got to the underside, and it was a much better method than the spot welding drill in my opinion. So I'm going to do it.
Wonderful.
And that's that.